Hey friends, this is Marilyn from Tarot Clarity. Once again, I apologize. You're getting this late in the day. That's because I spent another morning in the bank, but this time all my issues were resolved. Today's video will be on the Sicilian Tarot. I will put the timestamp for when that begins if you're not interested in hearing the continuation of my saga, which has been resolved, by the way. Okay, so for those of you who didn't see my last video, I'm not repeating it all, but it has to do with bank fraud, and it has to do with spending 6.5 hours in a bank trying to resolve it, which they did not. 2.5 hours on the phone with IRS, only for them to tell me they're faxing me something that 3 days later I never got, which was the only thing I was supposedly in need of to open a new business account. And the third point was something that the bank itself, when I called headquarters, in order for them to refund my money, I had to sign a form which they claimed to have mailed me and I never got. So after spending 6.5 hours at the bank on Tuesday, she wasn't able to resolve any of those issues for me. And the one thing she did do was apply for a business credit card for me, which I never authorized and I never requested. I get home that night and I called IRS and I called the bank again. The next morning, I get 2 alerts on my phone. One, that my credit score has been dinged because somebody looked into my credit score. And I was thinking, why would anybody do that? I was just trying to open a business account, which I couldn't open because they said I didn't have the proper paperwork. So why would they need my credit score? Followed by an email from the bank I go to congratulating me for applying for a new credit card, which I never did. Excuse me, I have a runny nose. So I was like, Then I thought, while I was there, the woman did ask me if I had a credit card. And I said, yeah, I do. And I showed her my credit card. And she said, well, this is no good. It's expired. I don't like this bank. These people aren't good. And I said, well, it doesn't expire until, 2028. So it's a good credit card. I don't need another credit card. I didn't know she was applying for one for me. So this was an off and on conversation. She said, how much money do you make in your business? Not associating it with the credit card. I thought it was to establish me to have a business account. I don't see this is how easy it is to take advantage of people, especially maybe if they're a little older and they're not slick, Never asked me if I wanted a credit card, never signed anything to apply for a credit card, never received a code on my phone to approve, nothing like that. So then I go to, this morning, I go to another branch of the same bank. And I said, look, I'm a very responsible, methodical person. Trust me, I'm the queen of methodical. I have every documentation ever sent to me from the state of New Jersey, which is where I live, and the IRS, that has anything to do with my business. I presented all these things when I initially created a business account. And although I didn't take everything with me the other day, I was aware that they had copies of everything because I had already supplied them everything for my previous business and for my previous account, my business account. Now, when I got there on Tuesday, I was told, everything you have is no good. We need new forms, which is why I went through the rigmarole with IRS, right? So I'm like, something's not right. I spent 6.5 hours at the bank. I don't end up getting this matter cleared up. I have an email that the headquarters never sent me, and I have an IRS fax message that never came through. How am I ever supposed to resolve this issue? I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, right? So I go to this other branch because something tells me I need fresh blood on this. I go in, I tell her the situation. She looks at my bank account. She says, well, every document you need, we already had when you established the account. And I said, well, the woman yesterday said I didn't have any of this. She said, I'm missing 2 forms, and she won't create a new account for me until I produce these 2 forms. She said, well, I don't know, but they're here. So I'm like, okay. And I showed her additional forms that I did not take the other day, but I just wanted to show her everything I had. So she says, well, we have everything you need. Then I said, well, headquarters told me they were sending me an email 3 days ago now. I never got it. I can't get my money back until I sign the paper, until I sign the whatever it was that she was supposed to send me in email. She said, well, that's an easy fix. I just call it up. Now, do you tell me after I spent 6.5 hours at the bank the other day, the young lady couldn't have called up a letter sent by headquarters for me to sign? She couldn't do that for me to get my money? But she was able to apply for a credit card on my behalf. Okay. So, I told the bank, I said, you can't even trust the bank. You can't even trust the bank. Right? So right then and there this morning, the woman says, yeah, here's the letter that you're waiting for from headquarters. I can print it out for you. You can sign it right here. We can resolve this right now. And she said, this could have been resolved on Tuesday when you went and spent 6 hours at the bank. Signed the papers. Now my money will come to me. Now my money, I've approved for them to send me back my money that was robbed. And as far as the person taking it upon themselves to open up a credit card for me, no, it's not for her, it's for me. I was like, what's in it for anyone at a bank to apply for a credit card for a customer? She did it for me, right? She's not getting it or anything because they get commission. So in that 6.5 hours I spent at the bank, the only thing she did on my behalf was apply for a credit card because she got commission. I want to give a super duper thank you. And she'll never see it because she doesn't even know I have a YouTube channel. To Denise and Nicole, who sat with me and resolved my issue without me having to do anything above and beyond what I already did. And they took the extra steps to get the paper for me to, and to cancel that credit card, which I don't need nor do I want. And whatever it is that I'm waiting for from IRS that has never arrived through fax, which I'll probably never get, I never needed it in the first place because they had all the documentation they needed already. So when you don't get answers to things and you, especially when it comes to a bank, go to another bank branch. Seriously. Anyway, okay, so I think we're going to start at 8:28, 8:30. I'm going to say 8:30 is when this video starts. Now, I only have, and this is going to be the completion unless somebody tells me there's another significant region in Italy that produces or has produced tarot cards. But the last one that I have, that I believe I have, is from Sicily. Tarocco Siciliano, made by Modiano. And this is a modern day deck of Sicilian Tarocco cards that I imagine gentlemen or women sit and play Tarocco in their parlors with. So it's a modern day deck. So let's flip the camera. It's possible that I showcased it in the past, but we're going to take a more critical look at it than I ever had before. If I showcased it, I don't even know if I did, because I made talk about cross-pollination. I noticed that there's a similarity in words to another deck. And that deck is the Montaigne Tarot, where the first card is, I remember seeing Misero, right? Which I kind of equate it with maybe the Fool, one who's in poverty, right? Because that's how it sort of reminds me. And now the name is similar. It's not the same, but it's Miseria. But it's close enough for government work. And again, we see an impoverished individual. This person is like chained to a brick. So the reference, I'm not sure what it is, if any of you are Italian or just more knowledgeable than I, which I'm sure there's many of you that are. If you could let me know what this reference is to. I didn't look it up before I started the video. And he's got like a cup for like either food or alms for the poor or whatever. Now this guy, Misero, or Misero, he's got the dog. There's some other kind of animal here. And he does look impoverished, but he's not chained to anything that I can see. And he doesn't have a bowl, but because of the name being the same and general features of poverty being the same, I kind of equate them with the same thing. And then this card is next. So is this the Fool because he's playing music? Or is this the Magician? Because we have a Magician. So we have two cards that, or can you exchange one for the other? I mean, is it like having two jokers? You can play with Miseria or you can play with this guy? I don't know. Again, for any of you who play Sicilian Tarocco, or if you are just more familiar, please, this is some information I would be happy to receive. But here we have, we saw it in other tarot decks with the Fool, a tradition of maybe making music. So in a way, it sort of seems like it could be the Fool. But so does he, right? And then we get into the Magician, who I guess would be the Magician because he's got a sack of money. But there's no sleight of hand and there's no artisan. Like in here in the Montaigne, as we saw in some of the other tarot decks, like the Soprafino, we have an artisan, somebody who's creating something, right? And this card is actually called the Artisan, right? Artisan. So it's somebody who's creating something, but here we don't have that. He's not creating anything. He looks like a money lender, right? Or he looks... I don't know what's going on here, but it's the familiar table with the person at the table and having an audience. But the accoutrements are not the same. And then we have, the female emperor, or the emperor. I don't know why I always call her the female empress. It's the empress. And then we have an emperor. We don't seem to have the religious cards of the female pope and the pope. I'm not sure who she represents. She's got a shield of armor. I don't know if it's Justice. No, because that's Justice. Maybe we'll have to come back and guess who that is. I'm not sure I know. And I don't think there's a corresponding card of a woman with a shield. I don't know who she is. It could just be exclusive to the deck, perhaps. I don't know. So then we have Temperance, and then we have Fortitude. And you'll notice the different numeric, sequencing, which we see, a lot of times. That's why the old decks, the earliest decks, didn't have numbers on them because, people were able to decide which cards had higher rank and value. But it's interesting to see how the Sicilian rank features, right? And we have 8, the Lover card, or Lovers, because there's just 2. There's not 3. We have the Chariot, Wheel of Fortune, and the Hanged One. Then we have the Hermit, Death. Now this seems more like an elemental card, 14. What would this be? We already saw Temperance. So let's put this down. So we have the Tower, we have the Star, we have the Moon, the which is interesting. We have a man who's sleeping or napping, a woman who's pointing out that he's sleeping, and we have a moon covered by, or surrounded on most of the circle by a cloud. And then, I don't know if it's the same guy, he's wearing different clothes, but then in the daytime, somebody's getting beat up under the sun. Wow, that's interesting, isn't it? And then we have the World card. And then we have what looks to be like Jupiter. So there's no judgment. I didn't see judgment. So we have this. So like that, I don't know. They're not the same, you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then over here 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I wonder what's going on over here. It's kind of like, and he's got a weapon. He's kind of, right? It looks like he's got a weapon there. Does he have a weapon here? Oh, it looks like this guy picked up his weapon. He's going to hit him with his own weapon. I don't know. I might be reading too much into it. And then the pip cards are missing. I don't have any aces. The only thing that looks like it could be an ace is this one. And it looks like it could be the ace of coins, but it's the only suit that seems like it might have an ace. But they all start at 5, except for the same except for the same suit of coins. But let's look at these first. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maid, knight, queen, king. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 8, 9, 10, maid, knight, queen, king. You know, no aces. Maid, knight, queen, king, and then the ace, the suit of coins may or may not have this being an ace of coins, and it also has a 4, 5, 6, different. Look at the structure of the 7. That's kind of cool. I kind of like that. Easy. It's really easy. Some of the 7s are really kind of hard to make out, but that's a really easy configuration. I wonder why nobody else did that. Then we have 8, again, a real easy configuration. 9, 3 rows of 3. 10, wow. I like their configurations. I really do. Here are the backs. So that is the only other region that I'm aware of that has, has produced tarot cards, and I just thought this would be an interesting little video to make. Until next time, friends, peace, stay well, be brave, be kind, show up, speak up, vote, and if you happen to be a member, the next members only chat is this Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're in I guess certain parts of Canada and in the northeast of the United States, we're going to be buried under a lot of snow. So grab your coffee cups or your hot chocolate on Sunday morning and join us. It'll be fun. 99 cents to join. Bye-bye.